So is this really a plot to get me to say something on tape then?
Yes.
Well, I got so much I'm down to tell you.
Well, we're excited today to have another ministry update with a leader, Margaret McLean, in charge of women's Bible study. And we want to start off, Margaret, and just get to know you. So can you share about you and your family?
Sure. Rick and I have 7 children, and they range in age from...
Do people ever drop their jaw?
Yes, they do. Yeah. So they range in age from 21 to in the 30s. And they're scattered throughout the Midwest. We have one family in Arizona now. So
yeah. They grew up.
They did.
And they're all walking with God, which is so encouraging.
Yes.
And I know them and love them. And
thank you. I should also say we have 6 grandsons.
Wow.
So, yeah.
All grandsons, no granddaughters.
No.
Is there some prayer behind that? Or
yeah, Lord, send a granddaughter.
Okay, how many sons? How many daughters?
5 sons, 2 daughters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. So the McLean name will go on.
Our
county is named after you, and I know that this name will go. Just kidding. So, Margaret, how long have you been coming to Christ Church?
We have been here since 2006.
Okay.
And can't believe it.
It goes by fast.
It does.
2020, so some time here.
We came during the preaching of Isaiah.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I love Isaiah.
Well, it really touched our hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now we're back. We're in the minor prophets.
Right.
Yeah. So how you are wonderful. You get involved. Rick is an elder, is doing an outstanding job. He's got his K group and is doing that on Zoom. And how did the Lord lead you and call you to this ministry leadership role of women's Bible study?
So I spent most of my life homeschooling children. And towards the end...
So you wouldn't have had a problem with coronavirus.
No, this is pretty much what I did for most of my life. But towards the end of that, I had the privilege of being able to come to women's Bible study on a Wednesday morning. And I believe Sarah Ray was leading at that time. And then it transferred to Cindy McNeely. And through that experience, really... was just so moved by the connection of women. Gathering around the Word and getting to know the Lord and one another in a deeper way.
Yeah.
And so when Cindy moved on, which we miss her greatly, that position was open, and they asked me if I would be willing to do the leadership of the Christian education. And so with fear and trepidation, I trusted the Lord.
Oh, we're just so thankful. And Sarah and Cindy did a great job, and you have continued and taken it further in some good ways. I know, as you know, I go down for coffee when you all are down there.
I do. I've seen you back there.
And try to get one and get out. But I noticed the intergenerational connection, proportionality of generations. And the younger women always say, boy, the older women are godly. And it's kind of a Titus 2 type of thing taking place where there's nurturing going on.
Yeah, it is, but it's a sharpening both directions, which is what the Lord's design is, right?
Yeah.
They give us energy and a lot of enthusiasm, and they are godly women as well.
Yeah, and the nursery is available for women on that. And what have been some things you've done? You've brought your materials here.
Right.
And I like how I don't know all who's involved, but the materials for each study are really excellent.
Yeah. So something interesting, I think, to say what's happened in the last few years is a desire to really have the women in the Word, and as opposed to maybe listening to someone else's teaching or reading more commentary or even answering someone else's questions, a desire to have the women reading, meditating, and concentrating their quiet time in a passage. So through the last few years, a group of women have worked to design a study that would encourage us to do that. And it's really very simple. It kind of grew out of a book by Jen Wilkin. I believe it's Women of the Word. And it's been well received by the women. It's also exciting to see the team grow and use their gifts to put together something that meets that need.
It's really good. I see you brought one with you.
I did.
Yeah.
So we just finished the book of Judges, which was quite a journey.
It can be dark and tragic.
Yes, dark and tragic.
Yeah. Gideon isn't always as wonderful, or Samson and all these the Incredible Hulk.
Everyone did
wisdom.
What was right in their eyes, right? So we're capping that off with a book of Ruth, and here's what that looks like. Krista Kuniyoshi designs the format for us and does a beautiful job.
Yeah, she does.
And last night was our first discussion night. We try to do about a chapter a week, and so we discussed chapter 1. There were 51 women on Zoom.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was exciting.
And you break up into small groups.
We do. As you know, Zoom, we enter a large room, and then we break off into our groups of 7 or 8 women. And that gives us time to connect with each other, to see what's going on in each other's lives, support one another in prayer, and then have a discussion of what we've been studying.
Yeah, so things changed when the virus pandemic came, and you've gone to Zoom. Is it working out okay?
It is. It's not number one.
Yeah.
We would rather be face-to-face.
Yeah.
But amazing how God has given us that tool to use to still connect. And I think many of the women would surprisingly say what an uplift it is just to get on and see each other's faces, to hear our voices, and to be able to share with each other.
Yeah. And that we exist. We haven't seen each other in so long.
Right.
You mentioned yesterday that you filled up the tank of your car for the first time in a while.
In weeks.
My
I hadn't
daughter
driven.
said the same thing, and
yeah,
it's good that way. There's less money going towards fuel.
Right.
Now, the women watching this, they may say, "Hey, I didn't sign up on time." Can they still get involved?
Sure.
Okay.
There are links on the connection on our website that will take you to a sign up, or give Julie a call in the office, or contact me. I'm happy to take that information and get you plugged in. And it's really the study is designed for that, so that you can join when you can. And I would say that's another blessing, is so many of these women haven't been able to be a part of a study during the year because of just their schedules. But we're able to now.
Yeah.
Because we don't have a lot of commitments.
Please contact the office. We're here Monday through Friday every day, and we would love to help you. It's an excellent study. So maybe now during this time it's a good time for you to get involved. Well, we are so thankful for you, Margaret. Your leadership in this area is so important.
Well,
and women are very blessed by it.
And I am as well.
Yeah. So Ruth is an awesome book. It starts off with famine. It ends up in feast. It starts off with a family falling apart. It's about single moms as well, and about struggling to find a place in culture, and how a Moabite enters into God's family tree amongst Israel and becomes very prominent. Ruth joins up with Naomi, and then a beautiful man named Boaz, who hasn't been married, who's a noble man, a godly man, and he runs a field and shows kindness to a Moabite, which was unusual at that time, to Ruth. And Ruth brings home lots of seed and food for Naomi. There's hope. He's also a kinsman redeemer, which by law means if he marries Ruth, he will then give land again to Naomi's family and carry on godly offspring, which the punchline at the end of the book of Ruth is the beautiful succession of generations, which leads to King David, which the very next book, I believe, 1 Samuel, Samuel the prophet anoints David as king, and Nathan the prophet makes that covenant with David to be that through on his throne will come one who will reign forever in the kingdom of God, Jesus Christ. So a wonderful little book. It's one of my favorite. A lot of word plays, wonderful to study.
Uplifted by kindness and redemption.
Kindness and redemption, yeah. I'm so glad at the end that one guy said no. And I think Boaz raised his sandal as a witness. Okay, that means I get her. And he loved her. I think he loved her. All the women at the end call Naomi blessed. And that was not the case when she left town, the house of bread.
It's quite a transformation.
Thank you. We love you. We look forward to another visit next week with another ministry leader. Thank you, Margaret.
Thank you, Pastor Rob.
Bye-bye.
Well, I got so much I'm down to tell.
Are you sure?
You.
You can test it. I'll sit out there.
In a little while, I must move on, but I'll send